Sometimes, sometimes they were hollow in the center. A lot of times there was a spot in there to put a relic. What's a relic?
A holy object.
Yes, a holy object from somebody. So we think of, if you're a Christian, you think of the holy relics of Christ, which would be the cross, the nails, the crown, things like that, the chalice that he used for the Last Supper. Those
Also known as the Holy Grail, right?
Those would be considered relics. For the Buddha, some of his things were his garment that he wore. Sometimes it was just the laws. Sometimes it's a place. And in this case, the holy relic is actually the place where he created the sermon. So they put the stupa on here to represent that relic of his first sermon. There's a large cap on the top of them, and stupas all kind of have this cap kind of thing. Obviously, this one's a little bit different shape. Most of them are more domed, but again, this one was changed after it was created. So here, this whole, not only does it have a stupa, it has a whole complex to it. You can see where it's located. And sometimes they will have more than one stupa located. And this cone shape that you're looking at is more of a later style. The original style would have been more just a dome style going across it. And then you're looking at all these ruins here. These buildings, they're more of a rectangular kind of plan. They would have been monasteries for the monks. They would have had libraries and sleeping quarters and things like that. Ashoka, who dedicated his life to Buddha after his remorse after the war, he built over 84,000 stupas throughout India. But unfortunately, most of them have perished since then. This also has a wall going around it, so it had a defense to it, so it had protection on the inside. The stupa in the south, and then the monastery was in the north. And I don't know if there's a significance to the actual layout, the north and the south axis, if that's what they needed to do. I'm not sure. This is one of the pieces that Ashoka had commissioned during his time. And I was going to pull up the India, the flag. You know what the flag looks like? I believe the flag has this symbol on it. Does anybody know what that symbol is?
Sun.
Nope, not the sun. It's a wheel of Dharma. Okay? And Dharma is very, very important to them. So Ashoka's chakra, I can't even say it today. Chakra, C-H-A-K-R-A.
Chakra.
I can't say it.
No, S-H. Chakra.
Thank you. Chakra would be on that flag. Right now you have the 4 lions on the top, and the 4 lions are basically indicating the 4 directions, the 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, west. On the bottom, anybody recognize this? I know that part of it's down here, but anybody know what that is? It's an inverted lotus flower. And then there's 4 animals on here too. One is the bull, one is the lion, one is the elephant, and I forgot what the last one was. Lion, elephant, because we've noticed the first 2. And each one has a significant meaning. We're not going to go through that. But this is the top. This was on the top of a column. So it was erected way up on the top of the column. And this would have been considered the capital, the very top of it. The Dharma Tatra, again, is the teachings of Buddha and the symbol of the wheel. Point is this section here. This pillar originally was 15 meters high, so it was way up there. And of course, they've taken the top off and they've put it in the museum. When I talk about the polished stone, okay, that glisten, that skill that these craftsmen had, can you see how this shines? That's what they're talking about, is that shine that's created. It's almost like you can see a reflection of yourself in there because it's so polished. There is another person that is given credit to being able to do that much later in time, is Michelangelo. People are still trying to figure out that luster that he could create.
What you said the base was an inverted.
It's a lotus flower.
Yeah, lotus, okay.
And when, the symbol of the lotus is very important, because it's, I believe it's something, that's, goes along with rebirth, because the lotus flower, isn't it rebirth? Because doesn't it grow out of the murky water and this beautiful thing?
Yeah, it's also one of the chakras has the symbol of the lotus flower. I can't remember right now which one it is.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those things that you don't practice, so you don't really remember all the time.
Is this regular stone or is this also marble?
I think it's a limestone
Okay.
that they have created. So that Dharma chakra is basically a symbol of the laws that are the Buddhist laws that they're creating. By the way, that is also a symbol of Buddha. This chakra is a symbol of Buddha. Because I mentioned one thing when I say Buddha, what do you think of? Just think of that image with the person with the big belly. Okay, that image has evolved. That isn't even the way when they started showing Buddha as a person. That isn't even the way he originally looked, and you're going to find that out first. But before they even did that, this was the symbol of Buddha. It took a while before they actually put Buddha as a person. So basically, the Dharma chakra is just a metaphorical wheel of the laws that Buddha set in motion from his first sermon. So the wheel turns, setting something into motion. So Buddha set all these new laws into motion. Senchi is the oldest stupa that we've seen. And this is the typical style during Ashoka's time period, is that dome look. That would be a typical one. This one hasn't been added onto, except for the two things on the top, these two things. Chatra is this three-tiered kind of parasol type of decoration that they put on there. I don't know if it actually has a symbol to it, but it's something that they do put on there. Hernke is the fence that goes around it, and it's all made out of stone. Okay? Remember, we went from wood to stone, so now everything is being put into stone. Stupas are known for their simplicity at this point. They get a little more, stupas pretty much stay pretty simplistic. Some of them actually get pretty complicated later on, but it's the gates and stuff that we're going to see that are going to make things a lot more. What is it made out of? It's made out of bricks and mud mortar together.
Is it growing moss?